Well, World Finals 22 is officially over, and what an intriguing, strange, and insane night of action. So without further ado, let's talk about all the action and results from the 22nd World Finals. The pit party would see 2 new designs and 1 new truck. The first was a red, white, and blue USA themed Jester, which honestly is one of the best looks the truck has ever had. The Pugly Rulers also revealed their new to-be-announced truck, which was revealed to be Excalibur. Once again, this throwback truck harkens back to the original that Charlie Porkin used to campaign back in the 90s. And speaking of Charlie Porkin, it has been revealed that Porkin's son, Chucky, will be representing his father's truck and will officially make his full-time driving debut behind the wheel of this truck. As the same with Michigan Ice Monster, this truck looks absolutely incredible, and having Porkin's son make his driving debut in the truck that his father made his debut back in just makes this all the more better. The last new scheme was the all-new Bad Company scheme. The truck's tattoo art is actually holographic chrome, which in some lights makes the truck look all the more cooler. This is by far my favorite iteration of Bad Company, and I know I said that about the last 2 schemes, but honestly, I mean it this time. The chrome just makes the truck pop while still featuring the beautiful orange accents the truck is known for. With the new reveals out of the way, it's time to move on to the actual events. Now, I have to say that this World Finals is easily one of the best of all. Guys, come on. I know I say, it's like every week where I say, oh, this is easily the best show of the entire year, but I figured I'd do a little bit of trolling. In all seriousness, this World Finals was not a bad event, but it's also not one of its best. The problems all started with the weather. A lightning delay pushed back the 2-wheel and high jump championships about an hour, which infuriated many fans. The pit party was left in ruins while fans sought shelter. Eventually, we got into high jump, and I'll be completely honest with you guys. As much as I have ranted on about high jump and saying how much it sucks, and despite the weather, I think this was easily the best time we've ever seen high jump. Yes, the height wasn't nearly as big as the last 2 years, but the technique that Ryan had performed last year added a new level of skill that wasn't previously there and made it all the more enjoyable this year. It went from a competition that was essentially just a point and shoot before hoping and praying you get higher than the other driver, now emphasizes on actual skill, and that would make the championship all the more interesting to watch. Despite Gautier's, Kenny's, and Murphy's best efforts, it would be Ryan Anderson defending his high jump world championship and becoming a 4-time world champion, officially tying his father in number of world championships. Moving on to the skills challenge, the overall feel of skills was completely different to high jump. What has been a largely exciting competition was honestly the worst skills challenge I think I've ever seen. Obviously, the weather did not play a good part in helping it out, but the track honestly had no lips on the dirt ramps or any other ramps to perform moonwalks cleanly. It was so bad that it pretty much just resorted to tombstone moonwalks off the center backflip because that's really all that they could do, and it got boring real quick. Added to the fact that only 3 drivers really held out a move, which ended up being the top 3, was just really depressing and cemented my fact further. In the end, it would be Tyler Manninger claiming his very first world championship over Zimmer Jr. I will say that if Zimmer Jr. had been able to nail the moon flip that he was attempting, he could have easily won his first ever world championship in only his first World Finals appearance. And him placing second in a championship after just his first appearance alone is incredibly impressive. After the track was worked on even more, the main show would start on time. It started out with the ThunderROARus drop stunt, which despite going extremely quickly, was pretty exciting. Michael Berger easily soared over all 9 trucks before smashing into the backflip. Obviously, the inflatable ThunderROARus skull was not added either due to the weather affecting the track conditions or wanting to get the show over quickly so that the show wasn't delayed any further. Moving on to the racing competition, and man, was racing incredibly exciting. In round 1, Jim Cola advanced onto round 2 as Armando Castro could not compete. And the same situation happened with Tyler Menninger as his truck could not compete, resulting in Cynthia advancing into round 2 as well. With that, the other races in round 1 saw Byron Musawa defeat Caleb Blood, Weston Anderson defeated Chris Kohler, Brandon Vincent defeated Ryan Disharoon, Tom Mentz received a 5-second penalty, advancing Chris and Anderson into round 2, Cole Vernard defeated Colt Stevens, and Todd LeDuc defeated Lindsey Reed. In round 2, Camden Murphy defeated Jim Cola, Byron Musawa defeated Adam Anderson, Bryce Kenny defeated Cynthia Gauthier, Corey Rummel defeated Weston Anderson, Brandon Vincent defeated Cody Saucier, John Gordon defeated Chris Anderson, and Tristan England defeated Todd LeDuc. In the quarterfinals, Camden Murphy defeated Byron Musawa, Corey Rummel defeated Bryce Kenny, John Gordon defeated Brandon Vincent, and Tristan England defeated Cole Vernard. Unfortunately for the Bad Company team, John Gordon broke a drive shaft and was unable to fix his truck in time to return to the racing bracket. With that, Brandon Vincent returned as one last hope of defending his world championship from last year. In the semi-finals, Camden Murphy defeated Corey Rummel and Tristan England defeated Brandon Vincent. The stage was set for an epic final race. Either way, we would leave racing with a new world champion. In the end, Tristan England defeated Camden Murphy in one of the best feel-good moments in this sport's history. His entire family watched on emotionally as Tristan England is officially crowned a world racing champion. Now, it was time for freestyle. Brandon Vincent started us off with a fairly solid run. However, Chris Kohler and Monster Mutt would really light the wick after only being the second truck out to freestyle. His 2 unbelievable saves really made the competition start off with high hopes for the rest of the night. Cody Saucier also had a great run all around, while Kristen Anderson's run was the case of when you play it too safe, and she really didn't have anything going that was indicative of a freestyle win. Next was Ryan Disharoon, who had a really impressive run, but unfortunately ended after he smashed the front right tire into the dirt mound. Despite horrible luck all year round, especially in freestyle, Todd LeDuc laid down an honestly decent run. Of course, the run was highlighted by what is officially the world's largest backflip. I don't think I've ever seen a backflip as large as LeDuc's was, let alone a backflip so high with the truck landing and breaking not a single thing. Bryce Kenny's freestyle was, well, there just was no freestyle. The truck shut off before he even made a single hit, and he was absolutely livid, as he should be. Armando Castro followed it up with a pretty great run, though it really lost its spark when he was shut off and couldn't really rekindle the fantastic momentum and moves before he was shut off. Caleb Blood made the most with a broken right planetary, even throwing in this strange backflip. Your leader is still Todd LeDuc. Next up was John Gordon in Bad Company, who had a solid run up until he broke a shock which punctured through the beautiful new body. Jim Cola looked to be doing the same, however losing rear-wheel drive during the run essentially ruined his chances of placing high in freestyle. Thankfully though, Cola made up for it as he jumped into the back of a dump truck which was filled with water. Great to see the tradition still being kept alive. Weston Anderson's freestyle was easily looking to be a championship contender. The momentum was easily the best so far, the air was insane, but it all came crashing down after failing the backflip to moonwalk. Byron Musawa had a decent run going, however a bad bounce from the steepened part of the racing lane caused an unlucky rollover. The newest world racing champion Tristan England had a fantastic run going despite almost hitting the wall, but again a failed backflip meant he was out of contention. Todd LeDuc, once again, still leads. After finally getting to defend her World Freestyle Championship from 2019, Lindsey Reed set out to rekindle the magic from Orlando. Unfortunately for her, an epic rollover caused her to flip over just as she was starting to pick it up. Next was Tyler Manninger, who also had a very strong run going, even throwing in a cool little save and a backflip to moonwalk. However, a failed sidewall attempt ended his run early. Next up was Cole Vernard, who despite not really having any memorable wow factors, really had insanely fast and an energetic run that took over the lead from Todd LeDuc. Cynthia Gauthier would follow Vernard, and she may have started out like Kristen, but she quickly started to pick it up. After the world's most satisfying backside of all time, she would ride the side wheelie into the dumpsters, ending her run off quite abruptly. Corey Rummel would, like Vernard, lay down an impressive run with some of the best momentum and air at that time, with many great backflips, including a fast-paced one that unfortunately sent his truck on his lid. It was now down to the final 5, with Colt Stevens and ThunderROARus being the first of the 5. He would get consistently huge air, including an absolute moonshot off the racing lanes with a great little save before attempting 2 perfectly landed backflips. With that, he took the lead away from Vernard as the final 4 got ready to tear Nashville up. Adam Anderson started off his freestyle run with a moonshot of his own and consistently following it up with more great air and insane momentum. Unfortunately, the backflip broke the truck and left him unable to finish off his freestyle run. Camden Murphy was next, performing a backflip to perfect moonwalk along with another perfect backflip. He also tried cross-threading the side of the center jump, however got a weird flip that sent him on his lid. Last year's World Freestyle Champion Tom Mann started off his run with a great maximum moonwalk, along with great air throughout before an over-rotated backflip killed both of his front shocks. The last run would be Ryan Anderson, who was the last driver to try to dethrone Colt Stevens. He went on an absolute tear for the entirety of the run and was nothing short of what we come to expect from Ryan Anderson. Huge air, 2 backflips, the whole run in general was just pretty flippin' amazing. With the scores coming in for Ryan Anderson, he would unfortunately, and to be honest, somewhat undeservingly placed 5th. And to be honest, he should have placed higher. However, with that in mind, that means that Monster Jam's Apex Predator had not only made history, but in its first year of competition, climbed to the top of the Monster Jam mountain to give Colt Stevens his very first World Championship. And with that comes an end to World Finals 22. Before we close out the video, I wanted to summarize my thoughts about the event. I don't think this year's World Finals was the worst, not even close. I know that will trigger all of the people that despise what is considered modern Monster Jam. But in all honesty, it was far from the worst. With that being said, it certainly wasn't the best. The weather delay most certainly did not help. In fact, it validated why a one-day World Finals now, especially outside of Vegas, just does not work. The track was absolutely perfect for racing, and it may have given us some cool moments in freestyle, but it really felt like it was missing the star factor that last year's and other World Finals have had in the past. High jump may have been finally entertaining, and racing was easily the most exciting part of the entire event in my opinion. But with a, dare I say, mid-skills challenge and a 50-50 freestyle competition, I don't think this year's event was the best of what World Finals has had to offer. The other important thing to mention is that there was no Max D Encore, and I'll be honest, I can understand Monster Jam not celebrating 10 years of Son of a Digger, especially during a pandemic. I can even understand something like Blue Thunder or Monster Mutt, even though they haven't run every single year of its entire lifespan or have a consistent driver to drive it through its lifespan. And I'm incredibly thankful that Max D was celebrated with more than just a sticker, unlike Gravedigger last year. But for Tom Mance to not even get a World Finals encore to celebrate the truck he helped propel Monster Jam to where it is now, even if it was as lame as last year's Gravedigger encore, to me is incredibly disappointing. With that being said, getting 3 new world champions is most certainly a great outcome for the event. A huge congratulations to the now 4-time world champion, Ryan Anderson, and our 3 new world champions, Tyler Manninger, Tristan England, and Colt Stevens. And well, that is all we have for you today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon with some more Monster Truck content.